Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again.
Am I wrong? Okay. This podcast is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong. Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man? I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad. All right, hold on. Give me it. Okay.
All right. This podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast.
The animated series.
Joining me today is a man who's feeling a little betrayed. Welcome, Jacob. And I don't mean by any of their characters.
No, of course.
By Cartoon Network. They are who betrayed us.
You stole mine. I knew it. I freaking knew it.
I am leaving this in.
That's why do you think I hear me growling? I should have went worse than the series. Oh.
Okay.
Why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host. A man who would often scream, "I'm too cute to die!"
It was the last episode, but thank you anyway.
Welcome, Drew.
How are you doing, Jacob?
I am good.
Well, as much fun as we're having with the intro of this episode, this is actually a very sad episode for us.
Agreed. And frustrating.
Because this is the last episode of Thundercats 2011, Season 1, Episode 26, What Lies Above, Part 2. This show ended before it should have. I think we can all agree on this.
Very much agree.
So, tell us, Jacob, about this episode.
All right. With Mum-Ra's invasion fleet on its way to Advista, Voltaire frees the cats and accepts their help with a counterattack. A monumental battle for the tech stone ensues. But with everything on the balance, Lion-O finds himself betrayed by a beloved and trusted ally. I wonder who that is.
Hang on, I need to correct that. So I don't think she was either beloved or trusted by some of us.
My son.
I was hoping she wasn't going to do that, but
from Lion-O's perspective, it was.
There's a part of me that from her introduction, I thought maybe she's just a little rough around the edges. Maybe she just needs to learn to calm down. Maybe there's a heart of gold deep in that body, covered in the scars of a hard year after the fall of her kingdom and being a slave. Palmyra, we hate you now. Let's get into the trivia for this episode.
You vile betrayer!
The only main ally of the Thundercats to not show up in this episode was Viragor. Other sets of characters who did not show up are Ponzi and Lucy, which honestly I would have loved for Lucy to come back.
That would have been interesting. Minus, how would you fit her in there?
I don't care. And the Pedalars.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because the group of Pedalars they helped died 30 days, 5 months ago.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
they are just legends to the current Pedalars.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't last that long.
That is true.
Also, in this very last episode of Thundercats 2011, Tigra finally uses the whip his birth father, Javan, gave him in Native Son.
Yay!
It only took to the end of the series for you to remember to do it.
Yeah. Come on, Tigra.
How much respect do you give your birth father?
Well, respect. He didn't know who he was until this season.
Fair enough. But he could have used it against the Soul Sever?
I guess.
Or against...
Well, he was kind of strapped to a table at some point of it.
True. He couldn't have helped in the Ponzi scheme episode because...
No, he wasn't in it.
Yes, he was. Don't you remember?
Hold on.
He had the love potion put on him accidentally.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, Ponzi scheme. That's right. I was thinking the
forever bag?
The forever bag.
Definitely not the forever bag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lovey-dovey tiger. That was funny. That was so funny.
Let's not fight. Let's discuss our feelings, Crunch. Anyway.
By Mumramon. Yes, I broke it.
Anywho. This is the final battle.
Yes.
In this series. It wasn't we know, of course, it was not intended to be the final battle. But thankfully, in the writing of this episode, they did at least do some things you put in a finale.
Yes.
We do get every character in season 1 who's helped so far, most of them anyway,
Right.
to show back up. They show back up in the forever bag, which is still awesome.
Yes.
And of course, we get to hear the magic word again, Rankin-Bass.
Yeah.
Which I love. It's a nice callback.
Yes.
So we get all these characters coming back, including the fish guy from the the Moby Dick episode. I love how that's the only guy you could get. No, it's just he didn't want to ride the bag with everybody else. Because that was just a great moment. It's like you have this bright light, and this guy walks out, and he's the only one there. It's like,
yay!
That was disappointing. That was anticlimactic. It's like, no, Rankin-Bass. Here's everybody else. Finally. Took you long enough. Including all the elephants who surprisingly had memory this episode. And that's the thing about this episode is it is mostly the battle.
Yeah, it is.
For the most part. There's a couple of different things that come up, but you get, like, the first 10 minutes are lots of fighting. Lots of Palmyra firing her cannon at the incoming army. Tigra doing a bunch of wild things in the stolen
Voltaire's ship.
Voltaire's ship.
Well, in Tiger's defense, be like, it's kind of broken.
Yeah.
It's scraped
Hey,
up.
since this one's dented, I'll take it out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you get a bunch of these cool little things, and then finally we get to the battle.
Yeah, the battle.
When Lion-O and Palmyra fall back to the stone chamber to protect the stone, as they're told. And Palmyra says, Lion-O, we've got to take the stone. We don't need to worry about this. If we take the stone, the entire everything will crash into the earth. I am not going to be responsible for the death of these many people. And then all of a sudden, Palmyra that gets shot? Yeah. Palmyra gets shot, says, and we turn around and there's Mumra. And he says, fortunately, I don't have that problem. And then Lion-O and Mumra go to fight over the tech stone.
And it gets tossed back and forth.
They knock the tech stone out of the thing. And it starts shaking the entire thing. And admittedly, we do get... See, we were told it's going to immediately start falling.
Yeah.
And it takes 10 minutes. So it's like it's the Frieza, this planet will blow up in 5 minutes problem from Dragon Ball Z, except it doesn't take 30 episodes to do it.
Yes. It's a drawn-out fight.
It's a drawn-out fight. But the tech stone gets eventually pushed over to Palmyra, and Lion-O says, I don't remember what Lion-O says exactly.
It's
other than something to the effect of protect the stone, don't let Mumra get it. And she says, you're my king, Lion-O, but he's my master.
Dun, dun,
she
dun.
throws it to Mumra, who sticks it in his gauntlet, and he gets a mecha suit.
Yeah. Not before Lion-O gets his full arm gauntlet.
Full arm, because you're almost to Leo's level.
Yeah, you're a minus Leo.
You're a little below. I think I said Neo, but a little below Leo. You're getting there. It's like that sword can't handle. It's like it handled it before.
Yeah.
And 2 more stones. What are you complaining? What are you talking about, Mumra? You fought him. You fought that sword in a much more powerful state than it's in now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So Palmyra, we find out, is an evil little heartless scumbag, let's say. That's not the word I want to use.
Yeah, she's an evil little kitty.
And it's amazing how from that point on, she never... There's parts of her performance before this point, going all the way back to the Plundar duology, where you look at her and you're thinking, she looks like she's nice. She could be... She's had a hard life. She's angry, admittedly, but she could be a good character, right?
Yeah.
Amazingly,
It's a nice
the
turn.
minute she throws the tech stone to Mumra, she looks evil the rest of the episode.
That is true.
It's like, oh, I hate you.
her
I wanted to like you, but I hate you.
She's turned the other paw.
I'm half surprised she didn't go a full Groon and automatically get her evil armor that I assume she gets. That she should have gotten.
Yeah.
And that happens. And of course, all their helpers come.
Yeah.
From all the heroes, and they get this big battle, and Palmyra and Mumra leave after Mumra says, "Come, my beloved." It's like, I don't want to know what happened there.
Yeah, no thanks.
And they leave, and I nearly said space station. The Avista is going to crash.
It's
into
already
the planet.
falling.
It's already falling, and they realize there's no way they can keep Avista from actually hitting the ground. But they realize, we can fire the engines and at least get it to slow.
Yeah.
And to which Panthro has a great line: "I may not be able to fly, but I sure as heck can land." Cat does always land on its feet.
That is true.
And the episode ends with Lion-O feeling a bit down.
Well, yeah. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit down. He feels betrayed for obvious reasons. And of all people, it's Wily Kit that comes to his aid. And she says, "Look what you were able to do here. For the first time, all the animals came together.
Mm-hmm.
They hated each other before, but now they've come together. Look at what he was able to do." And she says the last line of the series. Are we going on this adventure or what? Unfortunately, while Lion-O probably had a different answer,
Yeah.
the real answer is what?
Yeah.
Because the show got canceled.
That is true. But I do want to make one point. This like you never underestimate a child, because a child will pull you out of the gutter as fast, sometimes even faster than an adult will. It's a nice little final character boost in Wily Kit's character development, is that she is able to encourage people when they're down, which is always good to see you have a character like that. And I like that they even at the very end, even though they said we're on hiatus, because they were originally going to say that, then they say it was canceled, but they ended it on a good note. Where it's like,
it would have been nice if we got more. It obviously was leading more, but at least it did not end on, will the Thundercats get out of this predicament alive? Will they survive the falling of Avista onto the planet below? At least it didn't end on that.
Yeah.
At least it's like we had some closure. Which admittedly, when you told me this got canceled before it got finished, I was worried it was going to be a cliffhanger ending like that. Well, where all the last we would see of this crew of Thundercats was them slowly falling to their deaths.
Well, the first time I saw a clip from this episode, apparently someone had made a false ending to this show, where what they did,
I've seen those endings before.
Yeah, it was like it was very reminiscent of He-Man 2000X, which is another series I'm hoping we can get into at some point, because that's a really good series too. The fact that how this video ended was the reveal of Palmyra's betrayal, and it seems dire. The cats are all together, and it seems like everything is closing in, and they say to be continued. I'm like,
Boom, doo, doo, doo,
yeah,
doo, 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 doo.
yeah. What are we in Back to the Future now?
I was doing the song.
I know. I'm just joking.
Back to the Future be doo, 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 doo.
Yeah,
I know my music.
Yes, I'm aware of this. But it's just be like, I'm so glad they did not do that with this series. They gave us a nice conclusion to the end of season 1, but sadly we don't get a season. We don't get it anymore. But we do have information regarding that.
Yes. So I guess as we end season 1 here, we should go ahead and jump into our thoughts for the whole season.
Yes.
Starting with whatever your information is, as we are kind of exiting the episode review.
All right. So when it comes to what would have happened with Season 2 of Thundercats. These are a few notes I have found. It is okay. So a little information has come out regarding what would have happened in season 2. We would have gained more detail at Mumra's hand in the creation of the Snarfs. Slice history with Linkso, which is a character you only see like the fraction of.
Mm-hmm.
How Sly the Lizard sided with Mumra. Mumra tricking the Thunder Kittens into bringing him the Sword of Omens so that he would send them to Eldaro. Apparently, that was an interesting episode. Pumara being transformed into a wicked insectoid monster on a mission to capture the Thundercats. And the final stone revealed as the Soul Stone.
I thought we already got this. Wasn't that the one the elephants had?
Yes.
So what's the last stone?
That's a good question. Let's see. Yeah, main reason it was canceled would be like it was a show that was very very visually stunning, mature, complex stories, as well.
It was
as,
ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was very ahead of its time with character development. The show received positive reviews for the most part with critics. However, some critics gave negative reviews of the show, criticizing for being marketed towards a new toy line.
Okay, my apologies. It was the Spirit Stone that we got in the elephant episode.
Yes.
It would be the Soul Stone. Sorry.
Yeah, it would have been the Soul Stone. Let's see. The season 2 would have slipped ahead a few years, possibly 5, with the balance of power on Third Earth leaning towards Mumra's favor as he threatens to kill those who would not join him. The build of the new Thundera would begin. An exclusive of all who oppose Mumra and a upholding of the code of Thundera as Lion-O would have established. Okay. The writers would have explored the possibility of saving Pumara from Mumra's control, since both she and Lion-O admit they saw greatness from each other. Lion-O already was attached to her, and would hint the feelings would have been like they would have gone more into the romantic issues of that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of possibility they could have gone into, and I heard one where it's possible that the Thundercats, or at least the cats themselves, were somehow created from the Snarfs.
Okay.
Yeah, just something weird like that. There's a lot of information that there's an episode out there which it's, I don't know if I could recommend it because it's told so incredibly oddly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to, you can go check on Spotify. I think it's Spotify. No, it's SoundCloud. On SoundCloud, let me pull that up real fast. Pause. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about what would have happened with Thundercats Season 2 if it had not been canceled, you can go to SoundCloud and check out Thundercats, the rest of the series revisited, and it's like an hour and a half of, I think it's one of the writers talking about what would have happened in the series. So if you want to go and find out more and build that up in your head canon of what would have Thundercats Season 2 been like, probably a good start.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what the bit of information we know about what would have happened in Thundercats Season 2 is all we have.
So looking back at the series that we did get, I have to say I actually do like the show. I wasn't sure if I would or not because I do not have the nostalgia for the original Thundercats you do, because by the time I was watching TV, the original show was off the air, and I didn't see it again until it was on Cartoon Network back when we got that sometime around the late 90s. Mm-hmm. So I would have been like, teenager around that point. So I wasn't sure how much I'd like the show going into it.
Yeah.
And that was probably why I didn't jump into the show when it was airing.
Yeah.
Plus, I didn't have much time to watch shows back then anyway. So I did enjoy the show. I think people should go give it a watch. It's a fun one.
Yeah, I would agree. Right now, you can watch it on Hulu if you're a subscription there, and it is available for Blu-ray and DVD on Amazon. That's the way I have it. And me being the big Thundercats fan, I do own Thundercats 2011 and the original series now. So yeah, it's definitely worth your time watching and giving a series that definitely needed love. Apparently, Cartoon Network did not give this any love because they kept shifting its schedule around all over the place, kind of like
some other shows.
Yeah, like a certain, I don't know, a Fox show about space cowboys.
Maybe.
I
will say there is one thing that affects pretty much every episode that I don't like.
Okay.
It really does feel like they did not intend for this show to have commercials because they always seem to go to commercial. The version, because I'm watching on Hulu and it goes to commercial, and I didn't see any commercials because I think I'm on the plan that doesn't have commercials.
Yeah.
But it just kind of goes and you get this couple of seconds and then you're back, and it feels like it was forced to go to commercial and then came back at a weird time, and it does that in nearly every episode.
Really?
Yeah. So the version I saw, at least, and maybe it's not like that on the Blu-ray.
Okay.
I don't know, but it really did feel like so many times the scene would be going, and it feel like you're in the middle of a scene, all of a sudden commercial, and we're back, and it's like that break shouldn't have been there. I can tell that. And it does that. It's so many episodes.
Agreed.
And that, like I said, that may be part of the Hulu thing. I don't know.
I gotcha.
But I wish that had not been there. And I hate that it affects nearly every episode. Plus, this show time jumps like no tomorrow.
It does.
And that's a little annoying too. I mean, it's all in order. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of times where it feels like we're in the middle of a series and all of a sudden we're jumped ahead a couple days. Like, for instance, the 2 episodes where Tigra and Lion-O are trying to find this path across the mountain.
Yeah.
One of them we're seeing their point of view. The others we're seeing the Wily Kit and Wily Cat learn to hunt.
Yeah.
And it feels like, okay, we're going to be here for a little bit. They're going to come back and then we're going to move on to the next thing. No, it's like really after both those episodes there, now we're just in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we get to the desert? It's a weird thing that bugs me because I'm used to this episode immediately following this episode kind of a thing. And that does not always happen in this show. And that's a little annoying. But that's essentially all my dislikes for the show. And those are all nitpicks.
Yeah, I would agree with all of those. I enjoyed it. Like you said, there's a few little nitpicks, little problems here and there. But as the series progressed, it would just got better and better and better story-wise and character development, and the maturity of the storytelling was just on par. Just on par. Like you said before, it was doing something that a lot of series like it were not doing.
Yeah.
And
well, I feel like some of the inspiration for this series must have come from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Because that I believe had started before this over on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But I admittedly, I have not watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's one I would like for us to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like that show was doing so good that other people may have been copying. This might have been Cartoon Network's answer to it.
Possibly.
But I feel like they didn't quite go that far.
True.
But anyway, that's just me guessing. I don't really know.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's going to bring us an end, not only to our review of Thundercats, but the end of season 2 of the Cellcast.
I think so. But before we leave, we do want to leave you with one little thing. There is a short regarding to Thundercats 2011, and that is Snarf, Butterfly Blues.
Yes. I did not actually watch this.
Yeah, I think I saw it once.
Apparently this is hard to find.
Yeah, it's not available obviously on Hulu. So I believe you can find it on YouTube. I don't know if you can find it legally on YouTube, but it's there on YouTube. If you want to go watch it, go watch it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. So join us next time on the Cellcast for our start of Tangled, with Tangled Before Ever After, and then into Tangled the series.
Yes.
So join us then. Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
They can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron and Jacob's Daily Art Corner, my personal art Facebook page. On Twitter at Jacob B. Heron. On Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. And on Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. Where can they find you, Drew?
You can find me on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. You can also find my Facebook page at Drew's Photo Bin, where I upload my photography. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759 and Twitter at GGeorge759. Where can they find us, Jacob?
You can also visit our website, thecellcast.podbean.com, where you will find every episode we released and links to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our RSS feed, if we aren't in your favorite podcast app directory, please share, review, and subscribe to us there and share us with your friends.
You will also find a link to our Facebook group, the Double Feature Podcast Community, where we talk about both animated and live-action movies. We share this with our other podcasts, which we do with Jacob's brother Jim, at the Movie of the Week podcast, where we talk about live-action movies. You can also email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please like our page on Facebook. We try to post about upcoming movies. If you comment on that movie's post before we record, we'll read your comments in the episode. And remember, every time we say the Cellcast, that is with a single L.